Hello, my tubies. I'm back here with you today. I know my picture don't look all that great, but it's been a long day at the office, so work with me and bear with me. Today, we're going to talk about red flags to pay attention to when dealing with narcissists or anyone new that comes in your life. When you get the feeling that something just isn't right, pay attention to that gut feeling. Think twice before pursuing or continuing that relationship. Anytime someone keeps trying to push you past your boundaries, red flag. You should never be made to feel uncomfortable doing things you don't want to do. They don't know how to communicate intelligently anyway. A relationship's longevity depends on communication. Wouldn't you agree? Communication is the number one key to a good, healthy relationship. Instead of talking things through, would the person rather give you the silent treatment or try to change the subject altogether? Again, red flag. Without communication, there is no relationship and therefore no reason or no need to go on. This is the number one reason the divorce rate is so high and relationships are miserable. They want to get too serious, too fast, too quick. Moving too fast, that's another red flag. This is the number one red flag when it comes to knowing you're dealing with a narcissist or someone who is clingy or possessive. When your date says and does everything perfectly and they're overly flattering, guess what? Red flag. Remember, if things seem too good to be true, they probably are. They're either on the rebound or a malignant narcissist. Either way, nope, nope, nope. Watch out for their sense of humor also. If they say insulting things about your looks, your weight, education level, or even hint about things rudely, and then they say, "Oh, I was only playing, I was only joking." Red flag. Of course, you don't want to be overly sensitive. Of course, nobody wants to be like that. But if you see a pattern of this, you need to dodge that bullet. In your relationship, you want to be a partner, not a parent. This is something else to look out for, darlings. There's nothing wrong with being a child at heart, but when you are dating a man who have a hard time making decisions without having to run to other people for advice, or if they can't seem to figure anything out on their own, need I say it, darlings? Say it with me. Red flag. How are they with finances? How's their social behavior? Being in a parent-child relationship, guess what that is? It's torture. I need you to head for the hills, honey. I suffered through this with my second marriage, and it was horrible. It was horrible. Next, they don't know how or believe in reciprocation. Another red flag. If you run into someone like this, trust and believe they are nothing but a user. They're cheap and they're stingy. Anytime you deal with a cheap and stingy person, not only will they be that way with their money, they will be that way when it comes to attention, when it comes to sex, when it comes to love and affection. This is another bullet you should dodge. If the person is a little private, way too private and a little too secretive, another red flag. The purpose of dating is to get to know the person. How can you really get to know someone when they have so many secrets? Normally, when a person is overly private and secretive, they have some side piece on the side, some female on the side, a man on the side, or most likely they're married. Way too many secrets, too secretive. I understand you are going to lay all your cards on the I understand better yet that you're not supposed to lay all your cards on the table immediately because you got to try to get to know if you could trust this person. We understand that. But you'll know when the person is overly private and overly secretive. Your intuition will tell you that. Your intuition is the same as if God is talking to you personally. So trust that. If their sex drive is higher or lower than yours, another red flag. When one partner is constantly initiating sex and the other partner isn't in the mood most of the time, then you're in a world of crushed egos. That's what's going to happen. Crushed egos, hurt feelings, emotional pressure, and resentment from both sides. It's not going to work. It's just horrible. If one part is not being satisfied, then you already know what's up. Cutthroat is going to happen. And when I say cutthroat, I'm talking about cheating. Next, if someone is selfish when it comes to sex, this is a huge red flag. I lived through this one so I can speak with experience and with authority. Anytime your partner is only concerned with what pleases them and don't give a rat's rear end about your desires, kick them to the curb so fast they don't even know what hit them. I'm not talking about degrading yourself. Yeah, you don't do. I'm not saying you have to degrade yourself or do S&M. You know, you're asking for something crazy, but I'm speaking about making sure to bring you to the promised land. If they can't take you to the promised land and they're only concerned about them heading for the promised land, no. If they don't measure up, I want you to say, "See ya, see ya." The next one is a huge red flag. If their attitude and moods change on a dime, constantly their moods change. That's a red flag, red flag, red flag. Get up out of that. If you notice they are nice to you 1 minute and without any reason whatsoever they switch into a monster mode, do I have to tell you what to do? It's time to bolt, baby. It's time to bolt. Let's talk about major insecurities also. If you meet someone who needs constant reassurance and constant validation, oh, God knows that's a red flag. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. I should not have screamed. Now, I know we can all feel insecure on some levels sometimes. But when you're dealing with someone who feel bad about themselves, issues, they got all these issues, no amount of issue, they have these issues. They constantly feel bad about themselves. I assure you, no amount of reassurance or validation will ever be enough. They are a bottomless pit. You know why? Because their issues live inside of them. And there's nothing you can do about that. If they let their insecurities dictate their life, it will easily dictate your relationship too. They will always hate it when you succeed at something. Jealousy and envy will always be a problem in this relationship. And as you know, that's a huge red flag. We don't need to be bothered. It's stressful. Stress kills. Who needs it? They do not want to see you at your best. So you send them a text message saying, "I really don't think this is going to work out, and I wish you the best." Now, if a person does not know how to apologize, let's think about that. That's also a red flag. Apologize. It doesn't always mean you're wrong when you apologize. It doesn't mean that the other person is right. It means that you value your relationship more than your ego. Mistakes are always forgivable as long as the person have the courage to admit it. And lastly, my darlings, my tubies who I adore and love, if they feel differently than you when it comes to being faithful and fidelity, if they have no problem with open relationships or side piece, red flag, red flag, red flag. Because you don't share the same morals or the same values. Or what if they think it's fine to carry on intense emotional texts and conversations with someone else as long as they never physically cheat? Yeah, right. That is cheating. It's emotional cheating. You want to sit around and talk to somebody, you need to talk to your partner. Hey, maybe one of you want an open relationship, but the other person will never be okay with that. These are differences to catch before they cause you a lot of pain. Wouldn't you agree with me? I'm well aware that it can be tempting to ignore the red flags, but remember what Maya Angelou quote and what she said, and it always rings true. The first time someone shows you who they are, believe them. It will only get worse. Now, is that what you want? Do you feel that's what you deserve? I love you. This is Sheila True Love. And until next time, you always have a choice. And we'll talk again. Bye for now.